Okay, there we are. Welcome back to this episode of Rad BMX Builds. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're not going to build a bike, but I'm going to talk to you about what goes into building a bike. Where do I go for all my parts and what builds am I doing right now? I actually have a few builds going on, and one of them I've already ordered all the parts for. We're just waiting on that. Then there's some other stuff going on, like this bike right here, my 89 GT Mach 1. And we're gonna be making some changes to the lavender bike up there. And the GT World Tour build. So get ready, let's talk about it. All right, so the lavender GT build is sitting up there amongst all the other keepers. And that's a lot of GTs up there. But the lavender bike has GT LP5 tires on it, and I don't want those on there. I'm gonna do like the Maui Blue bike and put the Tioga Comp 3 tires on. So we're gonna need to swap those out. What am I gonna do with those GT tires? You're probably thinking, well, Sean, you're probably gonna use them on that World Tour bike, but I already have a pair. So what am I gonna do with them? I'm glad you asked. I bought a new, I know that was corny. I'm glad you asked, but I am truly happy you're wondering what I'm gonna do with those GT tires. No, I'm not gonna sell them. I bought another set of wheels and I got them built from BMX Guru, and they're all black, high flanged wheels. So I thought, for the GT World Tour, I do want the Skyways, but I also want to have a set of spokes because I may want to go back and forth, and I just like having options. So a set of spoked wheels, a set of Skyways, depending on my mood, depending on the look. I think when I get them, I'll put a poll out there, and then if you follow me on Instagram, you can say, hey, I like Skyways, I like the black spokes, whatever, but I did that for a reason. Now, what's going on with that 89 Mach 1? Well, I went to Planet BMX and bought some other Skyways and tires for that bike, and they're coming soon, probably in 4 or 5 days. So actually, by the time you see this video, I will already have had those wheels and put them on that bike. What am I doing with that bike? I'm gonna sell it. The 89 GT Mach 1 will be for sale once I get the wheels put on it at RADBMXBUILDS.com. You got to check out the website if you want to buy a bike from me, because that's the only way I sell a bike, obviously. Check out this shirt. I got it from RADDesigns1986.com. That's right. The folks over there make a lot of really rad merch. Go check them out. Stickers, all kinds of Eddie Fiola memorabilia. Really cool stuff. Good friends of mine. Big shout out to you. Also, if you want some Rad BMX Builds merch like hats, shirts, hoodies, sweaters, kids shirts, women's hats, we got you covered. RADBMXBUILDS.com. Okay, this 1989 GT Mach 1 looking kind of sad, sitting there upside down, waiting on some wheels, but it is a really sick bike. So someone's gonna get a really, really nice bike when it goes up for sale soon. All right, I talked a little bit about shopping, and I want to get into that because that's kind of what the meat and potatoes of this video is all about. We're gonna be swapping out some parts and doing that, but I want to let you know where I get a lot of these parts, because I get it in my DMs, I get it in the comments. Where'd you get this? How do I find that brake guard? Where do I get those cranks? And it's never ending, and hopefully this video is seen by one of those people asking the questions, because I've made these videos before and I've given a pretty extensive breakdown of where I get that stuff. So let's just go through a little bit of the day in life of Sean at Rad BMX Builds and what it is that I do. So I did this morning have to box up, make a label for a bike that's being shipped out today. I did that earlier this morning before I decided to make this video. Now we're gonna get on the computer and I'm gonna go to a few websites and buy a ton of stuff, because I'm excited for these builds and I want your input. I want you to let me know, hey, if you were building a GT World Tour, what color would you do? What parts would you use? I can't decide on wheels, so I decided to get both. I know financially that seems kind of stupid, but I think there's a place for both, and I'm going to play around with that idea. So you're gonna let me know in the parts down below what you would have done differently or what you would just do or even like what I did. I went with one-piece cranks on the world tour. If you go back to 84, 85 world tours, they all had one-piece cranks. I know people are gonna be like, oh, your bike, one-piece cranks, blah, blah. All of these up here have GT three-piece cranks, all of them. This will be my only GT with one-piece cranks. And it is correct. I'm also using a lot of old school parts on this build, which I don't normally do, but I just happen to have an 84, 85 GT BMX seat. I have the Epoch headset. I mean, I got a lot of old school parts, rear brake from the 80s. So just bear with us. This is gonna be an experiment and I'm gonna involve you. Let's do some shopping together, buy some stuff, because I have it all up here. Now I need to get on the computer, spend a lot of money so we can build a bike. Okay, let's get down to business. I'm sitting at my desk and I would love to show you the screen, but there's a lot of information on there that I don't care to share, like addresses and credit card information, stuff like that. So for obvious reasons, we're not going to show you that. But what I do want to share with you is a couple things that I've ordered, and I want to know if that's the direction you would have gone as well. Starting off, I went to Porkchop BMX and I bought some Diacomp 890 brakes and some Diacomp FS 880, which is a front brake made for POTS mod only. I bought a seat post clamp, a Diacomp hinged seat post clamp. And then this is actually really important, a 3/8 axle retainer safety washer for the GT, Dyno, or Robinson bikes. And the reason you should get those if you're building a GT bike is the front fork dropouts have a slot and then a hole. The slot is to accommodate a front axle with flat sides to slide up into the opening. Then the opening will be bigger than the diameter of the axle. So you buy these retainer washers to fill in that hole, and then you put the axle nut over the top of that. So if you're a GT bike builder, Robinson, Dyno, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you plan on building one, you should listen to me and get those. If not, you'll learn that doing it any other way just doesn't work out. I also bought brake cables, Diacomp brake cables in black front and rear, a black and nickel chain, Tech 5 non-locking brake levers in black, rim strips because I got some wheels coming that are spokes, inner tubes, and then a Tioga Bear Trap 2 BMX headset, 1-inch threaded chrome, and then a Tongi American bottom bracket for one-piece cranks, and I'll show you those in a moment. And then some axle washers in black because I think they make great accents. Not only do they protect your dropouts, you can get them in a multiple different colors, and it's great for practical use and for a detailed look. And I'm doing black and it's going to be on top of the paint, which will be a great contrast. The bike will not be black. So that's that. And then I went to BMX Guru, which builds almost all my wheels. They're really great and a very good price. I got a pair of 20-inch 7X style sealed, they call them road flange, which are the high flange jelly bean cutout wheels in black anodized, along with a 16-tooth freewheel. Okay, lastly, I went to Planet BMX and I bought a set of 20-inch black Skyway wheels, tubes, and Comp 3 style knobby tires, and again, another freewheel. And those are for the 89 GT Mach 1 build. That bike's gonna have Skyways on it, so whoever ends up buying it, you're getting a brand new set of Skyway wheels, brand new tires, brand new freewheel. And I'm only gonna make, the best that I can for you and ship you the best bike that you can get. So up to you if you want to change those parts later, but that's how I'm gonna sell it. So we'll see how it goes. I just got a refund. I bought all that stuff and it looks like I may have hit pay twice. So already they're on top of it over at Planet BMX. Realize that I just made a double payment because I'm talking to you and I'm an idiot. And they've already sent it back, they've refunded it. So thank you, Planet BMX. You guys are absolutely awesome. And if you ever need to reach out to them, they're just rad bike guys, and it's just down to earth. Hey, I have a question before I buy this on the website. No problem. Give them a call. Okay, typically I won't tell you what color this bike's gonna be, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. So you're getting some exclusive before it even happens. I talked to Craig Turner last night, and that bike, the World Tour, will be done probably Monday, early Tuesday, and shipped out to me. I also placed another order with him for another frame build, and that'll come in another week or two after that. So I got Craig hand building me 2 more bikes. This will be like the 7th or 8th, 9th bike I've had Craig build for me. And I'm absolutely obsessed with them. The quality is truly amazing. And you don't get more GT than a Turner member of the family building bikes like this in the United States. So anyway, rant over. My GT World Tour build is a custom bike, and it's gonna be white. So what do you think of my parts so far? Would you have done anything different? It's gonna be a white bike, white performer bars, white laid back seat post, a black power disc with the SR Sakai chainring, black pedals, black grips, black skyways and or spoked wheels with GT black gumwall tires. That's kind of my vision. I've seen versions of that bike. I've owned a version of that bike before and sold it. This will be a bike going into the collection and my only freestyle bike currently. I'm kind of over building the freestyle bikes. I get a lot of people in the comments, build this, build this. Like you just think I have millions of dollars to pour into building crazy one-off bikes all the time. It's a pace, it's not a race. So I build some, I sell some, I use the money to build more, so on and so forth. I'm not gonna go spend thousands of dollars building bike after bike after bike. It's just kind of through attrition. It's how things go. That's how a business operates. I could go all in and go buy some crazy dumb bike, but you also need to think about, if I sell it, do I get a return on that investment or did I just lose my butt? So you gotta be careful if you do what I do. Parts aren't cheap. Parts are expensive, especially like those seats and seat clamps and original parts. So I have a healthy blend. I'm not a purist. I'm pretty much the anti-purist of bike builders, if you will, because I'm not gonna stick to all 80s parts. I think it's financially stupid to do that, unless you're building a bike. But at the frequency I build, it'd probably be impossible. Okay, bike is down off of the wall and we're gonna take these tires right here, the yellow label Comp 3 knobby tires, and we're gonna swap them out and take these road going GT LP5s off because I think that's gonna be a better look. So let's jump on this, do a quick little tire swap, then we'll move on. Hey, there you are. I wondered where I put you. We got a delivery. It's what we've been waiting for. So let me get you over here and show you what we got. All right, come over here. You're gonna wanna see this. What have you been doing over there? Were you there all night? Jeez. Okay, you can read that. That's our wheels. But what's that? Probably all of our stuff that we talked about from Pork Chop. Let's dive right into it. See what we got. This is harder to do with one hand than one would think. Oh man, a lot of individually wrapped things. First things first, looks like tubes, Tioga headset, and a bottom bracket, rim strips, washers, seat post clamp and chain. Brakes, nice. Brake cables, gonna need those, and levers, nice. They always do such a good job of packing. And my other brake, sweet. Let's pull out the wheels. Okay, this is a wheel set from BMX Guru. Man, cardboard staples. Gotta be careful of those too. They'll get you. Well, so much for reusing that box. Oh, should I hide them? Just pull them out and show you. Look at that. Black anodized A7X style hoops with the road flange, jelly bean cutout, hubs. Sick. Should be a freewheel in here. And that must be it. Wheels don't come with a freewheel, so you gotta buy that separately. And yes, that's what's in here. Why they put it in there, I don't know. Little sticker. You know, you buy hundreds of dollars worth of parts, you gotta love that free sticker. Okay, free wheel, we'll get that on, and let's put some tires on these wheels, and then you can tell me which one you like better. The mags for the GT Pro World Tour or the spokes. You decide. Okay, as you can see, we got it all laid out here. Wheels, inner tubes, rim strips, and tires. And I know you're thinking like, why am I watching this? I want to show you a little trick. And it's something I've learned, and it just makes life a little bit easier for you. If you take your tubes that are so flat when you get them out of the box, put a couple pounds of air in them, they're going to be a lot easier for you to use or put into the tire, if you will, once they got a little bit of air in there. That's it. So that says 3 pounds. You can do whatever you want. I just make it to where basically they have a little bit of air so I can move them around inside the tire. So they're not just flat like that. Then your rim strips, of course, everyone knows this. I'm just going to show you anyway in case one person doesn't. Find your valve stem cap or valve stem hole. What I like to do is line up the hole on the rim strip right on top of it, and then press my thumb down into it and just, fail. And then just go around with your finger. Literally never had a problem until I filmed it. So rim strips on, and then what I like to do is get your tire. You'll notice the GT logo at the top, and that's where I want my valve stem to be. You're gonna line those up. So I want my valve stem cap and my logo to line up. Why is that? Details. So judges at shows, if I was judging a show, I would look for little things like that. And if both wheels are exactly the same, where the logo and the valve stem caps line up, you paid attention to detail, you're gonna be scored better than the guy that's got a valve stem way over here and one at the logo, and it's just like they slapped it together. So I've talked about like lining up your Amy grips so you can read the logo on top and on bottom, valve stems with the logos on the tires. All these little things matter. You're welcome. Okay, check it out. Here's the spoked ones. Love the hubs on these and the black wheel. I think those look really good. And then here's the Skyways. Earlier I talked about lining up the GT with the valve stem, but because the word Skyway and the valve stem, I centered it there. So there is a rhyme to that reason. Sure, I might slide it over later. I just got to take some air out of the tire and slide the tire over the wheel. But I kind of went with that idea when I did that. And then these ones line up pretty close. I'm a little off, I'm not going to lie. But Which ones do you like? If you were gonna build a GT World Tour, would you go old school and go spokes, or would you go old school and do skyways? Okay, there's a reason that I bought both, because I can't decide. If you could so easily decide, just leave a comment down below. And I am gonna build this bike, and I'm gonna take photos of it with skyways, and I'm gonna take photos of it with wire wheels, and then you could let me know which one looks better. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna go back and forth between the two forever, because I love both of them. They both have a cool look, but let me show you the parts that I now have for this GT World Tour, because they're starting to show up, and I've got a pretty good collection going right now. Today, I don't want to tell you what day it is and what day this is coming or whatever, because the videos come out at different dates, but I'm only a couple days away from getting the bike. So when that frame and fork get here, it's assembly time, because I have the bars, the power disc, the laid back seat post already on their way. And in about 2 days, the frame and fork will be on their way. Once they get here, it's go time, and we're gonna have ourselves one rad GT Pro World Tour. Let's check out the parts. All right, look at this collection of stuff so far. Loving it. I think it's gonna be a sick build. Oh man. Something about those GT colors, some of these old school parts, it's just gonna come together so good. The Tioga bear trap, the Tech 5 levers, the old school die comp brakes. That's the rear, that's the front. And if you look right here, that means the cable comes in upside down, because I'm running a POTS mod, which means the cable goes down through the stem, up through a guide on the forks, and into the brake. All right, there we go. That's what we have currently. I believe more stuff showing up today and over the next couple days. And what that means is that when they get here, we'll start another video of that entire build. If you don't want to miss that, and it's going to be an epic looking bike, you're going to want to subscribe right now. It doesn't cost you anything. Just touch the little button on your screen that says subscribe below this video. Man, I think I've shown you a lot in this video, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, some really cool stuff there with the lavender bike, some updates on some builds, whole bunch of wheel building going on, and a whole bunch of parts on a table. So builds coming soon. I got a call coming in from Mongoose, so more to come on that. If you like these videos, give me a thumbs up. Thanks again. I appreciate every single one of you. And as always, stay rad.